an intense cut-off low weather system has wreaked havoc across the Eastern Cape, leaving at least 7 people dead. More than 1,200 others, have been left displaced in 2 metros in Nelson Mandela Bay and Buffalo City. A large-scale search and rescue operation was launched involving numerous entities in the public and private sector to respond to this disaster. We kick things off with SABC News reporter Abongile Jantjies, who's watching developments for us in East London and joins us now live. Abongile, help paint the picture for us about how bad it's looking.
Well, Ayanda, it's really quite bad. Working up to that reality, some of them have to start over their lives as they have lost some of their belongings. It's really quite a painful scene to watch. Where we are coming to you from is from Duncan Village, where the Gift of the Givers is providing assistance, some temporary relief, which includes blankets and food. And some people even lost the food that they had. You'd recall that they just some of them made groceries since it was the month end, and then these devastating floods kicked in. Let's bring in the provincial coordinator of givers in the Eastern Cape, Corinne Conradi. Ma'am, thanks a lot for your time. How dire is the situation from your calculations?
Well, as of late Sunday evening, Executive Mayor Princess Fark an emergency disaster the night Sunday evening, and as of early yesterday morning, Sunday morning, with the local disaster management dispatching relief aid. We had about 100% rain that fell yesterday, making many of the areas inaccessible to do the assessments. Hence, many people came forward to the selected community centers for safety. And yesterday we assisted over 300 families. The affected list of families is of over 1,300. And this morning our team is busy here in Duncan Village, in Ward 7, where we are delivering relief aid to over 400 families. Dire need this morning is blankets, it's food parcels, it's personal hygiene items. When the rains fell, many people, as of last night, were still sitting in their pajamas. There was no time to escape and there was no time to gather anything. We've also visited a few shacks that were on the brink of collapsing. Those people, especially the elderly, have been moved to a place of safety by the local municipality and disaster management.
Ma'am, I understand it didn't hit Buffalo City only. Provincial-wide, what's the situation there?
Our team are busy in the Kariga area. We have dispatched a team from George as well as KZN, and the affected families in the Nelson Mandela Bay is 2,500, with just over 15 community centers that have been opened, and they are all full with affected families. Our team is busy distributing relief aid there as well, and there's also been 7 fatalities sadly that side. And we've also received reports from Kunu where 800 families or residents have been affected. Our team is just waiting for more reports, and we will dispatch a team there as
Hear there from Corinne Conradi, who is the provincial coordinator for Gift of the Givers here in the Eastern Cape. Let's bring in the Buffalo City Metro. I'm now joined by its executive mayor, Princess Fark. I see you've been here since the dawn of the morning, assisting where you can. Kindly give us an update from your side.
Good morning and good morning to you. Here today in Duncan Village, we hardly slept last night with the Gift of the Givers trying to rescue some families. The situation is becoming worse than yesterday. Numbers are increasing as our JOG is doing an assessment on the ground. Our disaster management team with the Gift of the Givers, the situation is very bad. But yesterday we did contact the Minister of Transport and the Minister of Human Settlement, because we believe the situation will even get worse as the months go by, because we are highly affected by rains in the city and our roads are damaged. We have more potholes now. Some of our bridges are not taking the water that it's supposed to take, like your storm water. So we've spoken to the Minister of Transport requesting that national government to come and intervene, because the situation is overwhelming to the city.
Declaring it a disaster, you mean?
As you look at the situation, it is a disaster. At Duncan Village, you need to evacuate all of these people that are staying in this informal settlement. It's a serious problem for us. Now, after this, we are going to Stony Drift, we are going to Cambridge location. Those are cases that were reported late last night. About 300 in Stony Drift, in Cambridge, about 180 something. So our team is giving us numbers. Some are in our community halls, NU7, NU10 community hall in Tanzania. So and it did not only affect informal settlement but also formal houses. That is where the challenge is, meaning that our stormwater system is not functioning the way that they're supposed to function. But we also want to urge residents as well. Our teams are trying to clean up. There's a lot of waste that has been thrown into our drains. So we need to make sure that we do proper education to our people on how to look after the environment, because we're really affected by climate change in the city.
What do you say to a resident who's reluctant to move from the conditions that they're in and saying that your processes, they don't trust them? What do you say to that? How do you convince someone who is in a shack with flooded water but is reluctant to leave?
The good thing is I don't delegate when these situations are happening. I've been engaging with communities in the city, and most of them now they are willing to move because they can see that it's not getting better. Before there was a bit of reluctance when we engaged them when we had this occurrence, but now most of the people are more saying that we're really looking forward to move. So I've requested my team spatial planning in the city to look for pieces of land in the city where we can move these people. So the temporal structures that we'll be getting from national government will start moving. But what we need to avoid is that when we move people, other people don't go and build in the same spaces. So that is what we need to manage as a city moving forward.
Thank you so much. Ayanda, as you heard from the mayor of the Buffalo City, Princess Park, that more and more people are demanding as the assessment is more people affected and they need to be assisted, Ayanda. So and we shall bring you more as this day unfolds, but I can tell you now that there's a long queue outside of people who are desperate to receive these distributions of food parcels and blankets here. Even the community halls are quite full, Ayanda. It's really something that unheard of, but it has happened before, but now the numbers have increased.